Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us for the ARCA Fort Bend County Parent Education Support Group on Zoom today. My name is Carrie Axtell, and I'm the Youth and Advocacy Programs Director here. We meet virtually, usually on the second Thursday of the month throughout the school year. And we like to start with an informative presentation. So if you'd like to stick around after the presentation, if you want to share any experiences or just talk as a parent, feel free to stick around and we'll chat. I'd like to share a little bit about the ARCA Fort Bend County. We're a nonprofit organization. We were established in 1968 for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, or IDD. We ensure opportunities for people with IDD and their families to maximize their quality of life here in our community. And we do that various ways through disability rights advocacy for and with people with IDD. And we provide information about community services and resources, organize resource fairs, support groups for parents, as well as teen and adult siblings. And we also hold several social and recreational programs here for people in their teens, 20s, and into mature adulthood. We are home to the largest Special Olympics delegation for adults here in the region, and we have 11 different sports and over 130 athletes. So it's a lot of fun over here. If you'd like to learn more about what we do here at the ARC, please check out our website, arcafortbend.org, and also our social media, Instagram and Facebook page. We're pretty active on that as well. But if you have any questions, you can reach out to me. Here in just a moment, I will put my contact information there in the chat box. So if you'd like to reach out to me, please feel free. And also, if you have questions during the presentation, if you'd like, our presenter, Toki Bennett, has said that if you'd like to unmute yourself and just ask as she's covering that particular area, feel free to go ahead. If you're a little more shy and you want to use the chat box, that's fine as well. I'll monitor the chat box and let her know what your question is. But if this is your first time joining us, welcome, because there are truly some exceptional professionals here in our community. We're very fortunate to live here in Fort Bend County, that we have some great resources available to us. And this month, we're very pleased to welcome Toki Bennett, the Mobility Coordinator with Fort Bend Transit. Toki has over 20 years of experience in customer relations, and in this role, she educates clients on transit services and offers travel training when needed. She's a mother to a son on the autism spectrum herself, and she has the experience and patience that is really required when working with clients who have neurodiversity or people who are more vulnerable or the elderly. Toki has a great appreciation for and understanding of how impactful transportation is to all of our communities. And when she's not serving as a mobility coordinator, she enjoys reading, podcasts, and spending time with her son. So we're thrilled to have you here with us today, Toki, and I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. As Carrie indicated, I do have personal experience with IDD. I'm very passionate, especially in my current role as mobility coordinator, with connecting your student with the services that they need to enjoy the life that you have brought them to. I know what it's like. You work so very hard to, for inclusion for your student and working to get them access to different things. And I know that a large obstacle is transportation. So I want to tell you a little bit about our county transportation that is available. I'm not sure if you are familiar with it, but I think this PowerPoint would be a good good introduction to transportation. Just to let you know, we have a lot of clients who currently have various levels of ability who utilize transit. So it's not a situation where we would be unfamiliar with people who are unique or different. It's a very safe transportation service in that we're going to pick up from a specific address and take you to a specific address. So it doesn't operate maybe like Metro, where there's different stops and you're going to stop along the way and you have the option of getting off at different places. This is reservations based, And we're bringing you to a specific address within the county and picking you up from within the county. So this may be a good option for families as far as when maybe your schedule doesn't permit you being, 3 places at once. This would be a good option for you or your student. So I'm just going to begin the PowerPoint, and as Carrie indicated, if you have any questions, if you want to put that in the chat, or if you just want to ask, feel free. And let's begin. So we officially formed in June of 2005, and we are a general public transportation provider operating our demand response and commuter park and ride services. In 2021, Fort Bend Transit provided more than 160,300 rides and registered more than 2,000 new clients. Now we're going to get into the differences of the demand response and our commuter park and ride, but just wanted to give that brief overview. So the demand response is our shared ride, and that's our curb to curb ride that operates only within the county. And the commuter that leaves from one of our 3 park and ride locations in the county. That's one of our little buses. That's a 16-passenger bus. All of our buses are wheelchair accessible. The demand response is our curb to curb shared ride service that operates only within the county. It is not a fixed route. The hours of operations are 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, excluding holidays. The fare is $1 per person per ride. And if you were to want to ride with your student, perhaps if you decided you wanted to try it and you wanted to take that initial ride with them, you could do so free of charge if you were to ride as a personal care attendant. Just wanted to let you know that. All rides must be scheduled a minimum of 1 day in advance, and you can schedule up to 30 calendar days in advance. We do not book same-day rides. And you can travel to any address within the county for any purpose. You do have to register for the service. And all passengers or their representative, be it a parent or a caretaker, must speak with the reservationist to schedule a ride by calling our 281-633-7433 and selecting option 2. All rides are subject to availability and are booked on a first come, first served basis. We operate 23 vehicles, 3 just in the Richmond-Rosenberg area. Special needs accommodation should be disclosed during registration. Examples would include assistance to and from the door, use of a wheelchair, walker, cane, hearing or vision impairment accommodations, assistance with boarding or alighting the vehicles. And again, all buses are wheelchair accessible. That's one of our reservations, or one of our previous reservations. In order to schedule a ride, the reservationist is going to require the same information for each call. We need your first and the last name, and you're required to provide the contact information at the time a reservation is made and or when your information has changed. And also the number of passengers. Passengers may reserve a ride for themselves and or other passengers. All passengers must be listed at the time the primary reservation is made. We also ask for the other accommodations such as assistance with packages or use of a bike rack must be disclosed at the time of reservation to ensure enough time is allotted for boarding and alighting. We need the pickup and drop off locations and times. We need the exact address for the pickup and drop off must be provided when making a reservation. Passengers can reserve a single ride or multiple rides. The passenger may also reserve multiple destinations for one day or multiple days. And multi-day requests. Passengers requesting multiple days may be asked to call back later to get availability for the requested trips and or to get their scheduled pickup times to allow time for the reservationist to determine availability to book the reservation. And with that, if you were to request multi-day trip, we would put the request in the system. And when we ask you to call back, we're working on that schedule. So you would be in line. It would not be, we wait until all other calls are answered first. We're working on that while we're receiving new calls. Those are our commuter buses. The commuter park and ride, this is a fixed route, and it's a shared ride that travels to 3 locations outside the county. We travel to the medical center, the Galleria, and Greenway Plaza. Services may begin as early as 4:30 a.m. and end as late as 9 p.m. Service into the Texas Medical Center costs $3.50. Into the Greenway Plaza and Galleria areas costs $2.25 per person per trip. And you do not have to schedule these rides. We have 3 park and ride locations. This is our park and ride location in Rosenberg at the fairgrounds. But we have 3 park and ride locations, one at the U of H in Sugar Land, one at the AMC in Sugar Land, and one at the fairgrounds in Rosenberg. And our commuter service destinations, the U of H or AMC park and ride, going to the medical center, $3.50 one way, going to Greenway Plaza is $2.25 one way, and the Galleria is $2.25 one way. We also pick up from West Belford to the Greenway Plaza, that's $2 a trip. And from the U of H or the AMC to the West Belford Park and Ride is $1 per trip. We offer a service, a guaranteed ride home. And I don't know if you're necessarily interested in this. This is for typically commuters who have a midday emergency. I just included that just as a part of, the service that we offer. But everyone, if you use the service, if you want to take advantage of this, you would have to register prior to needing it. And we would take care of getting you back from your location back into the county. Token transit is a secure visual validation for passengers to use as their fare media. Operators are instructed to verify 3 items upon boarding. There's a circle around the logo is in motion. The time of day is current and ticking, and the service route name or color is correct. Each service has its own color. Token Transit is our app for the tickets. Instead of having the actual physical paper ticket, you can download an app, and that's what Token Transit is. Demand response mobile passes will expire after 30 minutes, and the commuter mobile passes expire after 1 hour. Operators are instructed to not deny service to any passenger that does not have a live or valid pass but instead to notify us of any repeat offenders. And passes purchased via token transit will receive a 10% discount for multiple passes, much like the paper books. Paper tickets do not expire and are still accepted. So that 10% discount, it amounts to 20 rides for $18. And that's the same, the ticket books or token transit. These are our buses. This is going to be the commuter bus at the top. These are our little vans that we also utilize some vans. And this is our demand response bus. This is our office in Rosenberg where we're located. You'll see the address, the physical address, and our mailing address. Am I blocking that? Can you see that?
Yes, yes, I can see it.
Okay. And these are the numbers that you can call, the 281-633-7433 or 866-751-TRIP. This is our email address. And you'll also have the website there. And that is our presentation.
Thank you, Toki. Would you want that very last slide, or I guess the next to the last slide? Can we just keep that up so maybe people have a chance to write down, the numbers, buses and everything. So some of the things, please, if you all have questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask, or if you want to type in the chat, I'll be happy to ask Toki. Some of the things I was kind of curious about. Now, you mentioned for the demand response, somebody calls, maybe I'm calling today and I want to ride tomorrow to be picked up at my house, and I want to go to the grocery store. I want to go to one of the HEBs on Highway 6. I don't know. And I want to give a particular time and say 9 o'clock in the morning. And then I'm hoping that I'll be done with my shopping in an hour and a half. So I want to return home at 10 o'clock in the morning, or 10:30 in the morning. Mm-hmm. So is that what I would tell the person?
So what we would do, we would ask what time you wanted to be at your location. And if it's something like that, shopping, there's kind of wiggle room. So maybe we'll get, I want to be there in the morning. And that gives us a greater window to search for, which is very helpful. But we search based on the time you want to be at your destination. And we search within a minimum 2-hour window. So if you said you wanted to be there by 10, we're going to search 8 to 10. And of course, depending on the distance you're traveling, because again, it's all of Fort Bend. Depending on the distance you're traveling, we may open that window a little bit more. But your pickup time is going to fall somewhere within that 2-hour window. What we also do require is you need to give us the actual physical address of the location you're going to, because there are so many different stores. And I know personally, like the Kroger on Highway 6, I want to go to the one in West Airport. And we are not able to reroute the bus day of if this isn't the Walgreens you needed, or this isn't the specific, whatever you needed to go to. So that's why we require that address from you. You give us the time that you want to be picked up from that location, and we're going to begin the search at that time. So we don't have the window, we just begin the search at, like, if you want to be there 10 to 2, we're going to start looking at 2 o'clock for your pickup.
All right. So for something that's a shorter thing, like going to the grocery store for an hour, that might turn into maybe a little longer process, just because maybe I get there at 8 a.m. instead, because I had to get there earlier than I wanted to, and I get it done. But now maybe have to wait until 12 or 1 o'clock to be picked up. Is that kind of?
That depends on the need, because there's not like a block of time. You tell us what you need and the buses are running throughout the day. It's not our, like, a block of time, and then it's not. So we may have a situation where you're dropped off and say you want to be there just for an hour. You're dropped off. Well, that bus may very well pick you up, bring you to where you wanted to go and pick somebody else up, and that may be the same bus that comes back to get you. So it's just gonna depend on the need for that day and what is offered as far as availability.
Okay. All right. Very good.
How does somebody get registered for the demand response service?
I think you might be muted. Not able to hear you. There you go. No, we just weren't able to hear you, huh? You weren't muted. We just couldn't hear you. No, I mean, I can see your lips move,
And I
but
can hear you, Carrie, so yeah, it's on her end.
yeah, oh, that's weird because I was able to hear it just a minute ago. Urban Transit. Okay. Unmute. No, I'm still not able to hear you. I think you had a slide about that, about registering, right? Wasn't that earlier on?
Yeah, we saw we'd call for pickup, but we don't have to register in advance for the service, I guess is my main question, right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah, I think she said that we have to be registered for the
registered ahead of time.
Mhm.
Apologize for the technical difficulties. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
That's really weird because we were able to hear just fine for a while.
Up the microphone, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
We see some boxes there on the screen, but I'm not,
Yeah, she's trying to get her microphone back, I think.
yeah.
Our other question was about recurring rides, like if, somebody goes every day to work at a part-time job, like 10 to 12 every day. Is there any way to just automatically schedule that 10 to 12 without having to call and do it every month, Um,
Uh, Not absolutely sure, but I would think that perhaps since she said that there was you can only schedule it 30 days at a time. So
yeah,
you may have to call every month. I'm not sure.
yeah.
Sorry, Toki. I don't know if you maybe logging off and log back on again. You can do that since we don't need to share the screen anymore. Maybe you want to try that. We'll see if that works. Oh, great questions though, guys. I've got some questions here in the chat as well.
Yeah, this is Jenny Bradley. That last question or statement there is, really what we need things for is like, oh, I need to get my son to a
Recurring.
program for set hours for the day. And if they're giving me a 2-hour window on either end, that's not a
Right.
very usable service.
Right. Yeah, that definitely
I
makes
can't have
sense.
him waiting for 2 hours at the end of a program for a bus to come pick him up.
Right. Yeah. And I'm wondering too if it's for something like a program that might be multiple people there needing the same, maybe needing transportation.
Maybe,
So
maybe
if
not.
there's
Yeah.
2 or 3 or 4 people, then okay, well, yeah, we need to have this really kind of be almost like a route, right? maybe picking up at a certain time, but then they would still, all those people that are trying to get home are probably going to live in different places in the district, you know, within the county. So that
Yeah,
getting
yeah, and I
home
can
might take a
understand that.
while.
There may be some variability in the, you know, the time getting home, but like,
Right.
you know, if it's for work or for some kind of program, it's like you have to be there at a specific time and you're done at a specific time. And if you can't
Yeah.
arrange the transportation like that, then it's not
Yeah. Yeah.
really a workable service.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've talking with other parents. I have had some other like transportation options that some other parents are using, because I know that is one of the issues sometimes with transportation.
Oh,
is
I might
finding
need to
other
call you then,
alternatives.
Carrie.
Yeah,
This is one of my biggest struggles right now.
it is. Transportation is it's huge. It's a big
Well, and nothing here is close. There's, you know, there's,
we're all spread out. Yes.
yeah.
All right. Hey Toki, I see you logged back in. Are you able to hear us? Not able to hear you quite yet. Give just a moment. I don't know if it, perhaps the microphone just decided to quit on us. I don't know what's going on there, but what I'll go ahead and do, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording for now, and then we'll try to pick up maybe another time with more information.